This is about me.
Is Bristle's Vault.
Now, Brian, I've just been to the centre of Australia nearly. To Arkaroola, to
Yes.
Wilpena Pound.
Driving.
The amount of people that came up to me in the middle of nowhere and said, I am committed from 12 o'clock to about 2 o'clock to listen to the Rub every single Saturday. I say, I can't believe it gets out here. I thought you only got the boring AM crap. They said, no, we can access through these big antennas, the FM.
Did you tell them that my missus sold this stuff without my permission?
They know the story about how the tapes got to Triple M, but they say of all of the things, BT's Vault is as funny as anything I've ever heard, and I never miss it. This is in Arkaroola, Brian, an old station where they used to run cattle out in the middle of bloody nowhere.
Well, I don't know what to say to that, Toby, other than I am a little terse with it all.
All I know is, Brian, your fame tentacles spread everywhere, and so they bloody should.
You might try and sell this too, might you, like roaming Brian?
1991, 3KZ The Good Sports, is that right?
3UZ.
3UZ The Good Sports. Brian's first foray.
1991, yes.
Brian's first foray into broadcasting, just left Collingwood, Captain Coach of Paran, all that we know about what happened there. So there's your backstory.
Wrote his book about the Collingwood year.
Interviewed some of the biggest names in global sport, George Foreman being the first one, of course, Nadia Comaneci. And then just turned his eyes, Damo, back locally.
Right.
Now, I want to ask you this, before we get to this. Give me the biggest name in football in 1991.
91. Well, Hawthorn won that year's flag again. Dermott, maybe.
Well, yeah, but he was right at the end, Dermott. He was almost playing for Collingwood at that
Dermott's
stage.
enemy, Chief.
Well, the Chief had to be, didn't he?
Yeah.
At that time, you maybe Gary Ablett Sr. maybe would be the only one that would rival the Chief for the biggest name in the game.
Maybe Ablett then, Chief.
Yeah, well, there you are. So there's your two. So what Bristle did...
I'll plug a locket.
You are plugger. So there's the big three.
Yep.
Bristle decided at about 5:45 to do something none of us are courageous enough to do.
AM.
And wake the Chief up and get him on 3UZ The Good Sports. So enjoy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Just now on 3Z The Good Sports, we're going to go to one of Hawthorn's best players down there, and has been a full forward for the last few years, and done very, very well indeed. He's kicked a lot of goals and has been the spearhead down there at Hawthorn. I speak of none other than Hawthorn full forward Jason Dunstall. Good morning, Jason.
Morning, Brian. How are you?
Good. A little bit early for you, perhaps?
Just a touch, mate.
Just a touch. You're still in bed, or you're up?
No, I'm up.
Okay, well, what about Hawthorn? I mean, the last couple of years, I suppose, especially last year, they were they did very, very well indeed, but just weren't the Hawthorn of old. I sense that perhaps this year Hawthorn are going to come back with some real fight.
Well, we're certainly hoping to.
Well, what about new coach Alan Joyce taking over the reins from Yabby Jeans, of course, and he has coached the side once before to a premiership. Have his methods changed any from Alan Jeans, or are they basically the same style of coach?
I think everyone's style is a little bit different.
Well, what about Andrew Jarman? There's been a lot of talk in recent days about contractual wrangles and all that, which has now been resolved, apparently. What sort of a player is he, and where will he fit into the Hawthorn side?
I think from the practice games already seen, everyone's picked up pretty quickly that he's a very skillful player. And slot him in the centre, I think that'll be a bonus for us.
Yeah, well, also on the line, I think, Jason, we've got... are you still there, Jace? I've lost Jason. We've just lost Jason, I think, there, Wayne Brown. So if you can fix that up for us, I'd be very, very happy indeed about that. It's currently 14 minutes to 7 on 3UZ The Good Sports.
The Good Sports on the Greater 3UZ.
We've now picked up Jason Dunstall again, and g'day to you, Jason. Sorry about that.
That's all right, I just went missing for a little while, mate.
Yeah, Jason, Scotty Palmer was just on the line, and he mentioned about the helmet and your own injury. How has that progressed over the last few weeks, and is it safe now to play football without the helmet?
Yeah, I don't have any problems with that now.
Okay, well, we've been speaking to Hawthorn full forward Jason Dunstall, and we had a little bit of a misfortune in losing Jason there for a couple of minutes, but we've had Jason and both Scotty Palmer on this morning. Really appreciate your time, Jason, and thanks for getting out of bed for us, mate.
No problem.
Good on you. And I'd like to apologise to the constables or the people in blue who pulled me up on the way to work this morning. If they happen to be listening, I'd like to apologise for perhaps nearly breaking one of the road rules. Not quite, but nearly breaking. And I thank you for your prompt attention.
Brian!
Don't you rabble on with some crap.
Obviously speeding on the way to work without question.
Who is that
Probably
person?
doing 20 Ks over the limit.
What about Jason, who's, kicks 100?
Yep.
He kicked 100 sort of once, and
Yep.
Jason's kicked...
Plenty of people have done it. Numps.
But Jason's done it plenty of times. He's got, I've sort of got one of the sort of good players down there.
Spearhead.
I think a 7-time 100-goal kicker.
Who's kicked, you kicked lots of goals.
What I love, there's always great takeout for me, Purple. Firstly, the Chief, just a touch early.
Yeah.
And then Brian gives him one of his great 4 or 5 minute long questions. Chief gives it we're certainly hoping to.
Yeah.
And then old Wayne, was it Wayne Dunn?
Wayne Brown.
Brown.
Who was, I think, Liberace's tour manager
That's
at
it.
one
And
stage.
also Bristle's producer. He gets jumped off the line and Bristle just gives it Wayne Brown just picks that up.
Was it Wayne the one who said to him last week, Jim, when there was another line that went down, gave him a sheet of paper, read that.
There's a theme. There's a theme through all of the interviews. Really short, blunt answers.
That's
so
it.
turns them right off from the start. And then, and how many have gone missing?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Even the chief went missing.
And this is an era
Stop
before
talking to
mobile
him.
phones stuck. These are landlines that are going down.
Well, what I'm interested in with this is whether the great Jason Dunstall, and as you say, Duck, at that stage, no bigger name in football,
Nope.
whether this is an interview he remembers doing,
And I reckon he was in bed too, Jim.
and whether
Fair
he
chance
has
he won't remember that.
any recollection of talking to Brian on 3UZ The Good Sports. In fact, we can ask him, because I think we might have him on the line. Chief,
Gents, how are we doing?
now, do you remember at 5:45 being woken up by Brian in 1991?
I can't say I have a great recollection of it, other than the fact is the only reason I answered the phone is because I thought it was an emergency, because no one would normally ring me at that time of the morning.
What about the line of questioning, Chief?
Well,
You've heard
it was
back?
about, I should have known what was to come after the rousing introduction. He gave me a full forward to 62 goals. But the line actually didn't drop out. I fell asleep because of the pedestrian questions that were coming my way. And correct me if I'm wrong, but did he not ask about Andrew Jarman? I
Yes.
couldn't even be bothered telling him it was Darren that
Oh, you're a prick, Chief.
And Chief, your answers were brief.
Well, let's be brutally honest, you can only work with what you're given, Dave. And he wasn't giving me a hell of a lot. I mean, it wasn't exactly what you'd call vintage Bryza, was it?
Well, we appreciate you jumping on, Chief. Thanks for that.
Always a pleasure.
What is
I'm
today holding for you, please?
I'm over in your old stomping ground, Jim. I'm in Adelaide as we speak, ahead of the Port Adelaide North game.
Well, see if you can get the Kangaroos up. Please be nice of you, Chief.
It'd be well. They've been competitive. They just keep finding a way to gas it at the business end, Jim.
I did roll into Hawker, Chief, in the middle of South Australia, and I had 4 minutes worth of coverage to watch us lose that game, and I'm hearing you. Let's put it that way.
All right, we're just hoping for a good game, mate.
All right, enjoy.
Cheers, boys. See you, boys.
The great Jason Dunstall and Brad Bristle. That might be my favourite of all.
He was the biggest, and he had the beautiful hair.
Oh yeah,
Just a little bit of a mullet, but
Yep.
just the really nice hair
and
back
at that
then.
stage, owner of the saloon.
Yeah,
It
he had it all going on.
He
Where's
did.
it Don?
You got to understand that, while he was a good goal kicker, he was speaking to a good goal kicker. I couldn't let him know that he was perhaps really good.
Were you just marking a bit of your territory during that interview?
Oh, must have been.
I love it.